Welcome to the Motormouth YouTube channel. I'm Zach.
I'm Andrea.
And we do full-length car reviews each and every week. Halfway through, we stop for a segment called Questions, Coffee, and Cars, and we've spun it off. We're up to 104. How do you get a question in?
Follow along on Instagram at Motormouth_Andrea. Every Sunday morning, I put a post out on Instagram with Zach and I holding coffees. The post is only up for a short time. Once we gather our questions, the post is deleted, and we start the show.
Time now for Questions, Coffee, and Cars.
Your questions from Instagram.
Mazda CX-30 versus Honda Civic for a Los Angeles pet-around car. Which is more quiet and fun to drive? Love your reviews and watches.
Watches.
Oh,
Now you got my attention. Someone's into watches. That's a sickness. I have two very expensive hobbies, Andrea.
Yes.
Cars and watches.
Yes.
Anyway, we won't go down that rabbit hole.
No.
CX-30 has a torsion beam rear suspension, and the Honda Civic has independent rear suspension for Los Angeles concrete divided highways where you go down the highways. I go Civic. I know what you're going to say. I know what Andrea is going to say.
I'm going to go with more fun.
I don't think it's more fun. I don't think it is more fun.
It is more fun.
No.
For sure.
No, the other thing is you could take it up a notch and get an SI, Civic SI.
Yeah, you could do that.
You could take it up another notch and get a Type R.
That's a different story.
Can you do that with the you get the CX-30, you can get a turbo.
So the thing about the Civic now, I pulled some US numbers for you.
That's nice of you.
There's only two gas models, and then the top two trims are the hybrid.
So you get great and great? Are those the two trims?
Yeah. So so here's the pricing. Just over $24,000 to just over $26,000 for the gas model. If you go for the hybrid, you're up at about $29,000 to almost $32,000. These are US dollars. CX-30 starts at just under $25,000 and it goes up to $36,800 for that 2.5T, the turbo,
yeah, that's too expensive.
Which is a blast. But you know what? You can get a well-priced non-turbo 2.5 CX-30, which is a lot of fun to drive. I don't know. That's the one I'd go for. I like the Civic.
Listen,
I like the Civic.
I'm going to tell you a little story. We had to pick up a car, and there was a problem with the car, and I went home. And the person who was supposed to give us the car said, I have the car, I'm going to bring it to you, and I wanted to leave behind our Honda Civic. So he drove it back quite a distance to another part of the city. And I went to pick up another car the other day from him, and he says, oh my God, that Civic of yours. I was driving that, and wow, that is such a great car. He was going on and on and on about it. And by the way, he doesn't work for that manufacturer.
No, and it is a great car.
He couldn't believe how good it was.
But I just feel like, I don't know, maybe you want to have some fun. If the Civic is great, it's terrific. I like it. Every time I get into our Civic, I love it. And I say, wow, what a great car. Independent
rear suspension versus torsion beam rear suspension in the Mazda. And then the other big factor is CVT, or continuously variable transmission, for the Civic. 6-speed automatic for the CX-30. Drive them both. Make sure you take them on the concrete highways in California. And you'll notice a difference there.
Okay, can you follow up with us? Because I'm dying to know which one you decide on.
Go and get the SI. Go get the SI.
And we'll have, if you're going to say SI, then I'm going to go SI.
Yeah, but it's a manual only.
So just tell us what you got, okay? Nautilus or RX? Love your videos.
Ooh.
What
I think it all comes down to resale value for me and dependability. I'm going Lexus, baby.
Well, I'm impressed with the Nautilus technology. It is out of this world. It's too much for me. It's just too much for me, so I'm going RX. Hi guys, excellent content. What has been your favorite experience so far this summer? I like this question.
You go first.
Okay. Newfoundland. That was just such an amazing experience. It was my first time there. The people are amazing. The stories that they tell. And then the views. All the places that we stayed were incredible. And then I got to shoot the gun.
Signal gun! Time! Whack.
Wow.
Wow, that's loud.
Wow.
You sure did.
And that was a lot of fun.
So my favorite thing of the summer was hanging out with Andrea.
Oh, how about that? In Newfoundland?
Just hanging out with you, just being right here with you now, Andrea. That's my favorite thing.
Really? It just, okay. Okay, well, that's good. He beat me to it, didn't he?
All right,
He
so
got me.
You know, the Canadian comic Russell Peters. I don't know, because I guess we've been to Newfoundland. A YouTube video popped up of him doing some stand up, and he had these two guys from Newfoundland in the front row, and he always picks on people in the front row. And he said, here the one thing, and it actually describes. He's very observational and he's great at it. And he said the one thing about Newfoundland is the people are so nice. You say hi to somebody. How you doing? How you doing? Oh, I'm doing good there, Bio. And then 40 minutes later, you're still talking to them.
I know.
They just love to talk because they're so friendly.
Oh my God, amazing people.
And great storytellers.
And it doesn't matter where you are. We went from St. John's to Bonavista to Port Rexon to Triton.
To Deer Lake, to...
Everybody's so wonderful.
To Gross Morn, yeah. Everybody's wonderful.
That is my absolute favorite experience this summer. Also, we got a new deck, and I like sitting back there, too.
Is it drinks o'clock yet, Andrea? Oh, I got to tell. Okay, this ties in. The deck in Newfoundland ties in.
Okay.
So we were at Fisher's Inn. Fisher's Loft Inn, I think it's called. Yeah. And go to dinner, and Andrea's all about the cod. Love the cod, but I usually don't have cocktails. I usually just have a beer or a glass of wine before dinner.
Yeah.
And then it came up, spicy margarita. Now you might be just rolling your eyes and think, come on, Zork, you've never had a spicy margarita? And I hadn't. And so I drank it, and I'm like, this is the best thing I've ever had.
I had some, and he's
it
right.
was delicious.
Yeah.
So I was going on with the guy, and plus it hit me like a whale coming out of the ocean.
Yeah.
It must have been a bit of tequila in there. And I said to him, this is the best thing ever. So he gave me the recipe. I came home. I made the jalapeno simple syrup. I bought all the fixings. It's going to be drinks o'clock with that this weekend.
It certainly is. And here's the funny thing. Zach took a picture of the spice that you put on the rim, and he ordered it from Amazon. And when the server came out, so that Zach could take a picture of the bottle. It was huge. It was like
a
this
big bottle,
huge
like this big.
bottle. And so Zach finds it on
take a picture of it.
Amazon, and he's like, hon, I got it. Here it is. I said,
No, it wasn't
order
that. It wasn't that. It was like an Amazon package shows up, and I'm like, I don't know what I ordered.
Oh, yeah.
And it's little. And I open it up.
And it's like that big. I said, it'll be good for a few drinks, and then we'll have to
get more.
Find a bigger one somewhere. Love the show. What's the story with most car manufacturers and the ugly piano plastic? Is it cheap for them and accordingly more profit? Almost all consumers hate it, but still somehow manufacturers keep putting them in cars. I don't like it either.
Well, I think it's a combination of it's not expensive and it can look good when it's clean. It's the problem is keeping it clean. And some brands, like this car has it here and a little strip across the dash, but that's fine. And you didn't even really notice it, do you? But
I don't notice it because it's on it.
It's integrated.
Well, no, but it's not that. It's the way it runs where it's not accumulating dust and fingerprints because nobody touches it. If you have it here, piano black, the dust you can see right away and the fingerprints.
Okay, so I have a quick story about Klaus Busa. He used to be the head of interior design for Chrysler, and he's now working for the European division for Maserati and Alfa and all that kind of stuff. But he was in Michigan for many years, and he told me at dinner when they introduced the Grand Cherokee in 2009, because Chrysler was the worst offender for plastic fantastic interiors. He knew it, and they put a big board and they showed the interior that they wanted to do, and they had a little flip card over all of like soft touch this, aluminum finish that, whatever it was, and they flipped it over and it had a cost associated with it to show the executives. So they saw the interior and they flipped it over. Now, if you can save 50 cents, $1, $2 on an interior over hundreds of thousands of units, that's profit for the car company. So car companies do analyze every single thing that goes into a car and how much it costs.
And high gloss shiny black is one of the least expensive materials to use. What they could do, which we see more with Volkswagen models, is instead of going high gloss black, they do a high gloss gray, like a light gray, or they put a pattern in it. And then it just doesn't look as dusty. We were recently in the Camry, we got it back, and you'll see in the review that I complained about the shiny plastic that's in that vehicle, and I don't like it, and I think we should be using less of it. And you're right.
We go on about it every chance we get. We go on about a couple of things, Andrea. One is we want 3-row SUVs to have the option of a bench seat on all trims.
Yep.
That's our crusade. That's one of them. And the other one is to get rid of the shiny hard plastic and replace it like the gray. We had the ID4 and it had the light gray, and it looks great. So just go with that.
Then the other thing I don't understand is when I was picking up the ID4 at the dealership, they had a base model there, and they had another one with different color interiors, a top trim. And I looked at them all. And what shocked me is the base model, which comes with a cloth interior, instead of having the piano black here, they had the cloth, the light gray. Now, some of you might say, oh, but that's going to get dirty because you're always touching that area. But boy, did it ever look so much better.
They can do better. Car companies can do better.
Honda CR-V sticky steering has not been escalated past an engineering investigation to a recall, but has many owners impacted. A few suffered accidents and waiting on parts. What is your take on this? Is this fixed in 2025? Seems all dealers we speak to are unaware and pretends it doesn't exist.
I didn't know anything about sticky steering until the way here, and Andrew's telling me we got a question about sticky steering.
Yeah.
I thought it was the electric power steering. But it's not. It's actually mechanical.
Yeah, so you are right. There is not a recall on this. So the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration Office has opened up an inquiry into the complaints it's received on Honda and Acura models with sticky steering in the cold. Over 500,000 models could be affected. And here are the models: 2022 to 2023 Civic, 2023 CR-V, and 2023 Acura Integra. The failure report summary lists over 1,300 incidents resulting in 13 crashes and 3 injuries, no fatalities. TSA and Honda have traced the problem to the manufacture of a worm gear in the steering box. The manufacturing process caused stress and strain on the worm gear. So Honda has directed all dealerships, if there is a problem, to replace the part.
I will say one thing about Honda. If there's a problem and they do recognize it, they do get behind it. For example, we have a Honda Civic and it has a faulty air condition compressor. It's not a recall, but it is a known fail item. And they send us letters and they say your car's been extended, the warranty for another 10 years or whatever it is. So we did have it fail, and they took it in, they fixed it, and it was back in a few hours, and it's a known problem. So hopefully if this is a known problem and it starts to happen, then you can just go and get it done. But we're not there yet.
Hello, my favorite YouTube couple. Thank you. Recently, it's been reported that vehicle prices are expected to drop. Do you think it's the dealerships or the brands that are leading the price shift? Which brands in particular? By the way, Dodge Hornet? Question mark.
Hornet, no. That's a hard no for me, dog.
Yeah, and the Tonale.
We drove the Tonale from Alfa Romeo.
No.
Was not impressed with that. That is not an Alfa Romeo, and it's barely a Dodge. So I would say no on that.
Totally disappointed in that one for sure. Okay, so I went online and I looked at the site. Dodge, for example, is 0% financing, and they're also throwing like $1,000 cash rebate on the table. Looked up Honda, the Honda CR-V hybrid specifically, 2.99% financing. And if you're a loyal Honda customer, you may qualify for $1,500 off. And it's all across the board. You just got to go on the sites and see who's offering what.
So what a difference a year makes. A year ago, you couldn't get a car for love or money, and now car companies have too many cars. Yeah. So the brands offer, first they drop the interest rates, so the price to borrow money is anywhere from 7 to 10% if you were to go and get a car loan. So use the car companies' reduced interest rate, some as low as 1.9, even 0%. If you want to buy a Ram pickup, pickup or a full-size Chevrolet pickup truck right now, you can pretty much get 0% interest. And in some models, they have $10,000 off.
Yeah.
And then that's from the brand, right? That's a marketing exercise from the brand. Do not be afraid to ask the dealer for further discounts. So low interest rates, money on the hood, and then hit up the dealer, and they might not be able to drop the price much, but you could say, well, how about you get me some winter tires and throw those in, for
Yeah,
example.
sure, or mats or whatever. But I didn't see anything on the Toyota site at all.
Toyota's
I looked.
reducing interest rates. So a few months ago, it was like 7-8% to get a RAV4. Now it's down to about 5%.
Still expensive.
Because they have a car people
Jeez.
want, right?
Hey guys, love the show. Was wondering if you were ever going to get into the Sonata N-Line and do a thorough review of it. I appreciate the honesty you guys put into your reviews. Well, thanks for that. We did the Sonata, but it was the base model, which actually was a treat to get because it showed us how many standard features you get in that model. You know what? It's really up to the manufacturer and what they want to bring into the press fleet. If they want to bring an N-Line, we'll certainly do it. But at this point, there isn't one. Love your show. Thank you. I'm a fan of wagons over SUVs. Do you have any suggestions for a premium wagon? I previously had an A4 Avant and really enjoyed the versatility. Thank you both.
Go get an M5 wagon.
You know what? Well, we're talking new. Let's say new.
And the M5 is coming back with a wagon.
Well, let's wait and see.
They're bringing it back.
Okay, so you could do Volvo. You've got the cross country. There's 2 options there.
Yeah, they just announced that the S60,
Yep.
the V60, they're discontinuing
That's
it.
too bad.
Yeah.
Still on the site. You can still get it. I looked it up, V60 and the V90. Mini Clubman, which is really not in comparison to what you were driving. And then in the U.S., I don't know if you're in the U.S. or you're in Canada, but there's still an E-Class wagon in the U.S.
Yeah, so there's very few options. The good news is the RS6 Avant is available and the M5 wagon is coming.
What are your thoughts on Kia entering the pickup space with the Tasman and Subaru with the Brad and Baja? Will these vehicles be competitors for the Toyota truck line that's overpriced? Well, these are all rumors. I mean, no one has said anything that this is even happening here in North America.
Well, the other thing is
All rumors.
you need to look up what is the chicken tax. Okay, so if a truck is not made in North America, there's a duty on that, so they can't bring trucks. That's why we don't get the Volkswagen Amarok. You have to pay a tax on that.
And that's it for us. Thanks for watching. If you want to get a question in, follow along on Instagram at motormouth_Andrea. Every Sunday morning, I put a post out. Once we gather our questions, the post is deleted and we start the show.
Thanks for watching.